All right, what is going on, everybody? My name is Nathan, or ELEMENTofFROST, and as usual, it is Monday, November the 4th, and I'm doing my weekly review video for The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 4, Indifference. And this time I'm doing things a little bit differently, and doing it with my good friend Dan, or Danny Boy Rules.
Hi. I'm
Hi. All right. Anyways, yeah, guys, we're doing the week. I'm gonna go over it as usual, and my opinions on things. Um, and then basically Dan's gonna give his opinion on things, like maybe what's going to happen. Probably leave that for the prediction video, but I guess kind of just thinking if people were right in that situation, or stuff like that. Alrighty, so kicking the episode off. All right, I thought this was a really good kickoff for the episode because it started out in basically the execution chamber room where Carol was actually talking to Lizzie, right?
That conversation they had was really deep, not gonna lie.
Man, I think Lizzie has just I don't know, kind of gone off the deep end. Like she can't, I don't know, get back to the surface or something, because it's not even the Lizzie we started off with at the start of the season anymore.
Seriously though, she's like,
It's only 4 episodes in, and she's just like, yeah, give me a knife, I'll kill whoever you want me to kill.
well, I mean, like when that, wait, was that her father? Yeah, I think it was. She couldn't do that when she had to kill him.
Yeah, but then she wasn't upset about him, she was upset about Nick.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That zombie was special. All right, anyways, yeah, so Carol is basically staring at her knife, and Lizzie walks towards the execution room window. Obviously, they're between a pair, a piece of glass or plexiglass to not get sick. And Lizzie says basically, they told me to come down here to talk to Carol. And Carol basically, says that I'm going on a run with Rick. And, um, she tells her, um, basically that she's going on this run with Rick, and she wants kind of Lizzie to be prepared for anything that could happen inside of that prison cell block while Carol's gone. Trying to tell her to take care of herself. And do you think Lizzie's capable of taking care of herself now that Carol gave her the knife?
I think not fully.
Are you really playing Modern Warfare 3 right now?
No, I'm not. I'm watching it actually while I'm
Oh,
playing. I mean,
okay,
I'm watching someone play it. But
gotcha. All
like,
right.
I think in a couple episodes she'll be like, I don't know if I want to say fully ready, but I
Yeah,
don't think she's like up to it, like to her full extent.
yeah. I don't think she's like Maggie right now. Like, she's not just ready to kick ass and everything, but I think she's now capable. If she got the chance again to put down her father, I think she's capable enough to do it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, if her father didn't die until now or something like that, I think that she would be capable of doing it and not turning away and crying. But anyways, yeah. Now Rick is outside by the car, basically preparing for the run with Carol, and now it just basically pans over to um, from Carol. It pans over to Rick, getting ready, and also I'd like to say it's probably a flashback. I guess not really a flashback, but uh, what I'm thinking is Rick is trying to decide whether or not to, what to do with Carol. Like, he doesn't know what to do. Like, he doesn't know if she's dangerous. You see him walking through the tombs, seeing where the blood is. He's imagining Carol killing Karen, putting the knife through her, dragging her body out, burning them. He comes back with a gas can that was still out there, and he's just kind of trying to process it. You know what I mean?
yeah, like it's like I would probably do the same thing,
Yeah.
especially with what's happened.
Mm.
And he has still been seeing Lori,
Yeah.
so he's still going insane, I think.
I don't know if he's going, I think he's back from the whole seeing Lori thing, but I think he kind of, I don't know, kind of feels her, I guess.
Yeah,
If you
like
know what I mean, kind of, I don't know. Kind of just using her as a moral compass, I guess.
That was a good way to put it. Not
I
gonna
know.
lie.
I like that one.
That was amazing.
All right. So yeah, now um, basically Lizzie and Carol, continue to chat. Gives her the knife, and you remember what I told you to do when there's danger. You run and run until you're safe. And if it's your life or your sister's life, you can't be afraid to kill. Understand? And then, like, she basically just told her, if it comes down to it, kill your sister.
Yeah, that's that's the simple way to put what she said.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, now, Rick is still preparing. He puts the gas can in the car, and he's unfolding a pack of 6 large hunting knives, and he's kind of asking, like he's debating on like what I presume it is when he's looking at the knives. He's like, I don't know what to do with Carol. Like I don't know this person anymore. Do I sentence her to death? Do I banish her? Do you know what I mean? Like he's looking at the knives like he doesn't know what to do. Now, anyway, now back on the road. Carol and Rick are now in the car, and
Well, I mean, after the epic theme song
yeah,
plays.
after the theme song and the commercial break. But now back on the road, Carol basically, there's silence throughout the entire car. No one's talking at all. Carol just kind of breaks it, saying Maggie wanted to come, and someone had to stay back and watch over things, is what Rick replies, and she basically, like kind of puts it in his face, someone you trust, you mean, and then like kind of reverting back to it, he doesn't trust her anymore, which obviously that can't really, you can't trust somebody like that, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
in my personal opinion, she did the right thing.
Yeah, like, because they were a danger.
Yeah, like we seen before on previous the first and second episode, that Patrick, he died like almost immediately. No one even knew, and then all of a sudden he came back and killed, like, started this whole riot of killing 12 people.
Yeah.
Like as soon as somebody dies, you might not know about it, and they're gonna kill so many people. Like they lost 10 people in that cell block because no one knew Patrick turned. So she's trying to justify, Karen or David could have turned and killed, the rest of the people in the execution chamber, could have wandered out into the rest of the cell blocks. Could have killed Judith, could have killed Carl, anyone. That's what she's basically trying to say, and I completely agree with her. She did what had to be done. Do you think
Yeah,
that?
but everyone else just doesn't see that, apparently.
Yeah, I know. Which, it kind of makes me a little bit angry because Rick, she brought up this point too. Rick, back in season 2, he killed Shane to protect himself, to protect his family, like, because he knew if Shane was going to kill him, he couldn't do anything to protect his family from Shane, or anything like that. So he killed Shane to protect his family. And
Yeah.
that's basically what Carol did. She killed Karen and David to protect the group. She didn't want anyone else to die. Karen and David were a lost cause. They had they didn't have any hope.
Which at this point, it's not really a group anymore. It's more of a family because of what's.
Yeah.
So she's doing the same thing, protecting the family, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, now back to the woods. As we all know, Daryl, Tyrese, Michonne, and Bob Stuckey are going on a run to the local veterinary college. We've seen them lose their vehicle last episode in that herd of 7,500 walkers, which was amazing, obviously. And yeah, Daryl stops on the trail, picks up something. Michonne basically says, "Is that Jasper? It's a good color. It brings out your eyes," which I thought was really funny. And he basically says, it's a marker. If you stay in a place more than a couple hours, you might learn to lose those kinds of things. and kind of being, I guess, backwards sarcastic towards Michonne. But I thought Michonne was a lot more funny. But anyways, yeah, now back at the abandoned neighborhood where Rick and Carol are going. Now, in my personal opinion, this kind of looks like the same place that Shane and Andrea went to back in season 2. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the exact same place. It really looks similar. I'm not sure. But who really knows? So, yeah, they're hitting into a home, and Rick tells Carol that they should search the medicine cabinets and grab anything that can help Herschel. And if we can eat it, we take it. Whatever we find, fruit, anything, we take it because we need food. They obviously killed the pigs to protect the prison, so not really, much they can do anymore for food at the prison. So they actually have to grow their food, find food, scavenge, stuff like that. So now back at the gas station in the woods, Daryl spots a vehicle behind some like overgrown weeds and brush. It's in good shape, but needs basically a battery. So he tried to hotwire, but it wasn't working. And yeah, anyway, Tyrese is kind of everyone's really hacking away at the brush, and Tyrese is just, I don't know, I guess hacking away like, I don't know, a madman or something. Like
Batman.
he was pissed. Like he really hated that brush.
Seriously though.
But yeah, he's hacking away, and he's trying to clear the path through the overgrown vines to the door of the shop to try to get the new battery for the car. And Daryl basically says, go easy. We don't know what we're dealing with. And right on then, a hand reaches out, basically grabs Daryl, who I think at the time, I didn't think he was going to get bit, but I thought something was going to happen, that maybe he would have, like the zombie would have fell on top of him. Michonne maybe had to save his life, something like that. But of course, Daryl's a badass. He kind of just, I don't know, I guess stepped away and stabbed it in the head, like no problem at all.
Yeah, seriously though.
But yeah, another one grabs Bob, another one grabs Tyrese, and Michonne's the only one that's kind of safe in this instant, and she's kind of the one using her katana to cut the arms off that are grabbing the people. So one grabs Bob, he manages to kill it, and Tyrese is now tangled with the third. He won't let go. He could have just let go, killed it while it was in the bushes, but he decided to want to pull it out for some reason. I don't know why, but in my opinion, I think he kind of wants to get bit. He kind of wants to die because of the loss of Karen, but at the same time, he wants to live because Sasha's still back at the prison.
Yeah.
So
I was just about to mention Sasha.
Yeah, like, I don't know, I guess he's kind of conflicted. We've seen that back in episode 3 too, when he wouldn't get out of the car and they got surrounded by zombies. And, it's kind of hard to say what he wants to do at this point.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Well, yeah. Anyways,
I don't know what to say. Like, it just like.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. Like, does he want to kill himself? Does he want, like, you can tell that he kind of doesn't want to live as much as he did before, but at the same time, he doesn't want to give up on Sasha. But I think if he loses Sasha, I think I don't know what's gonna happen, to be honest with you.
Seriously though, like what is?
I mean, spoiler alert: in the comic, Tyrese did lose Sasha.
But the show may not follow the comic exactly, right?
No, yeah, I mean, I get that, but at the same time, like, if he loses Sasha, I don't really see him committing suicide, because Tyrese, I don't think, would be that kind of a character. At least he wasn't in the comic book. That would be kind of weak for Tyrese to go out like that. Because, spoiler alert, in the comic book, if you guys don't want to know about this, just kind of look away from the video for like the next 10 seconds. But the governor actually took Michonne's sword in the comic book and cut off his head in front of the group. So,
oh well then.
There's that. Anyways,
that happened.
Back on the topic. No more talking about that. So, people who skipped right over that, back onto the show. So, yeah, Tyrese, the walker comes out of the bushes and basically falls on Tyrese. Daryl picks it up, and Bob basically shoots it in the head, And, yeah, now back at the abandoned neighborhood, Rick and Carol are grabbing supplies. A walker basically surprises Carol and has a really bad fall. Feel really bad for the walker. Or I guess she was pretty clumsy, I guess. Didn't know where the stairs were. But, yeah, it basically falls down the stairs. Rick pulls Carol back and, basically yells Carol and says, watch out for the goddamn zombie falling down the stairs. Uh, but yeah, so after this, a door opens at the top of the stairs, and honestly, I had a few predictions of who this is going to be. In my prediction video, I was thinking it was going to maybe be Morales, which the last time we seen him was back in season 1 when he left the group. Do you remember Morales?
Yes.
Okay. And it could have been the governor. That was really one of my less predictions because I didn't really see that coming at all. And it could have been a few other people like Morgan or somebody like that. And it just turns out to be 2 random survivors, who, by the way, also has peaches. So
That's a good thing.
and apricots and peaches. And he basically comes out of the door and he's like, "Yo, don't shoot. We have apricots, peaches," and tells Rick to, tells him to catch, and then he doesn't. So, yeah. So his name is Sam, and his girlfriend, her name is I'm not too sure. Do we ever find out her name?
What's your name again?
Anna. Anna. It was Anna. Yep, that was it.
Nailed it.
All right. So yeah, we get down there, and Sam's shoulder we find out is dislocated, and Carol kind of slips it back into place. Tells him to hold a bag, and
That was really disgusting, not gonna lie.
well, I mean,
I hate the sound of just that.
I guess
hate it.
kind of the bones clicking. Anyways, so yeah, Rick and Carol, you guys look the 2 survivors are asking Rick and Carol, you guys look all right. What's your setup like? How many have you killed? Rick responds in I guess in reply to like the 3 questions that he usually asks to recruit people, referring to the walkers, like how many walkers have you killed? How many people have you killed? Why? So now back at the gas station in the woods, Daryl and Bob creep into the shop to find a battery.
Hey Nathan, it sounds like another movie, Gas Station in the Woods.
The gas station in the woods. It's like that Cabin in the Woods movie. Fucking shitty. Anyways, yeah, so Michonne and Tyrese untangle the minivan, basically. She basically kind of, I don't know, I guess scolds them. Like, kind of, I don't know, puts him on timeout or something. Scolds him for not letting go of the walker, and warns him to control his anger, Anger makes you stupid, and stupid gets you killed. That's what she kind of says, and I guess kind of just to kind of warn Tyrese, you better get your shit under control. You're gonna die, and we don't need that. And Tyrese basically asks her in reply, "Are you still mad at the governor?" And she says she's not, but she would cut him in 2 if he was there at that moment, because that's how it needs to be. So now back at the abandoned neighborhood. So we did pass your test. So did we pass your test? Sam asks Rick, and it sounds like they did, as Rick tells him the location of the community. The prison is 8 miles away, but warns of the flu inside the walls. You can come back with us, but you might die.
Yeah, that's basically what he's saying.
Sam basically says, you got fences and walls, we're in. I don't care about a damn flu. Fences and walls are good. I don't care about a flu. So, now with plenty still left to do, Rick tells the couple to, quote, sit tight, and they'll circle back for him at nightfall. And Carol just kind of, takes the, I guess, role from Rick of being the leader at that point, and basically says, they might be more useful to help sweep the neighborhood. And Sam tells Rick, you can't carry us. It doesn't work that way. We want to help. We want to earn our place, So now, back at the gas station in the woods. Working on the car now, Daryl and Bob chat about his past. He's the lone survivor, basically, from 2 groups, which I thought maybe was a little bit of foreshadowing, I mean, I really doubt that everyone in Daryl's and Rick's group is going to die, and then Bob's going to be left.
Yeah,
I don't really see that. But yeah, he admits turning to alcohol basically for comfort. He was the lone survivor from two groups. He's out survived everyone, and I guess he kind of, he says that he went on the big spot run to get booze. Nothing else, and that's what caused Zach's death because he put the booze back down on the shelf. Shelf fell over. He got pinned. Zach died for him basically, and he's kind of blaming himself. And Daryl basically looks at him and says, that's bullshit.
yeah, basically.
And why don't you get in there and try the engine? It's red and green wire. And then he was like, it's not rocket science. So he gets in there and it starts up, and they basically hit on their way. So now back at the abandoned neighborhood, they're still scavenging for supplies. Carol is, once again saying, Rick, I've killed 2 people and you haven't said a goddamn word about it. Well, she didn't say goddamn, but I just added that. And he doesn't have much to say. What do you want me to say? And then she says, you were a good leader, better than I probably ever gave you credit for. You've done what needs to be done, and I have done what needs to be done. He's like, I never murdered 2 people, and this is when she brings up the reference, just one, in a reference to Shane. And he tells her, he's going to kill me. And she basically replies to that, Karen and David would have killed the entire group. And you don't have to like what I did, Rick. I don't. Just accept it. So at that point, I was like, wow, I'm Team Carol.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like she done what, like she finally convinced me, like she done what needed to be done. Like you can't really put it any other way. In reference to Shane saying, you killed Shane to protect yourself and you protect your family. I killed Karen and David to protect the group, protect everybody. Could have killed Carl. Could have killed Judith. Could have killed anyone from their group. And that's not the way world works now. You have to do what has to be done. So, wow, I'm stuttering a lot, aren't I?
Yeah, you are. Jeez.
But yeah, now back at the veterinary campus. Campus? Wow, I'm stupid. I just woke up, people. I'm sorry. Basically, Daryl now says, let's make this quick. Seeing some walkers in the side of the room, and they're basically running away. Bob grabs something off a cot in one of the rooms and puts it in his bag. We don't really see what it is at that moment, but we find out in a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, back to now the abandoned neighborhood. Stopping to pick some freshly grown tomatoes, Rick asks Carol how she knew how to put Sam's shoulders back in place, and she replies with the internet, which I thought was pretty funny. It was easier than telling an ER nurse I'd fallen down the stairs a 3rd time. So that's basically referring to the fact that Ed always beat her previous husband, obviously. And she always had to lie to the ER nurse, and instead of doing that, she obviously looked it up on the internet to see how to put her own shoulder back into place, which at that point I really feel for her. It's hard being in an abusive relationship, obviously. I don't really know anything about that. I've personally never been in one. Hopefully not, because that'd be pretty embarrassing if a girl beat me up every day. But anyways, moving on. So yeah, anyway, now after exchanging stories about their lives, Rick saying Lori always woke up and basically made them pancakes on a Sunday morning. They were horrible. They had too much flour. It wasn't mixed in right. And she just continued to do it because she wanted to have the family that ate pancakes on a Sunday morning, which I thought was pretty cool, bringing Lori and their family back into this thing, kind of reminiscing to when the apocalypse didn't happen. Yeah. So yeah, now after exchanging basically stories, they hit around the house and quickly spot a broken basket and scattered peaches. We don't really know exactly, is it going to be Sam? Is it going to be Anna? We don't really know. And rushing to the gate, they see a shoe. They push it open wider, and the shoe is on the girl's leg. So We don't really know what happened. Did Sam cut off the
And
leg?
the thing is, it was on her leg that was all messed up too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what happened to that? Like, who cut it off?
Seriously.
Like, what, did the zombies just bite it off and like, no, I don't want that.
Yeah,
I don't want that leg, thanks. But I don't know. I don't really know what happened there. So yeah, now rushing to the gate. Obviously, Carol says that we should get back. Sam's probably waiting, so they go back to the, I guess, house where they're supposed to meet them. Now back at the veterinary hospital, Michonne, Bob, Daryl, and Tyrese are getting basically chased by walkers, and that's really the end of that scene right there. We'll get back into that here in a second. It was a quick scene, but yeah. Now Sam isn't in the meeting place. Rick suggests that they give him more time, and Carol, it was a nice watch, but we have to go, which I thought was fucking hilarious. It's not about Sam, it's about the watch that Rick gave him. But yeah, now back at the veterinary hospital, they were getting chased by walkers. They had one exit that also had walkers in it, but the other side where walkers were chasing them from, they were the infected walkers, the ones with the bleeding eyes, and they know if they shot them, if they got their blood on them, they would get infected too. So they had to take their chance with the walkers behind door number 2, I suppose. You got a phone call?
Yep.
All right. Anyways, yeah, tossing a fire hydrant now through the window to try to escape from the walkers. Tyrese tosses in the fire hydrant. Daryl, Michonne, and Tyrese jump to safety. Bob, not so much. He kind of falls out the window, drops his bag. He's still holding on to it, and the walkers down below the canopy, I guess, outside the window, are grabbing onto his bag, and everyone's telling Bob to let go. Let go. It's not worth it. Just let go, and we'll leave. And he doesn't let go. He finally gets his knapsack up there, risking everybody's lives to try to pull him up, and he struggles, and he lands on the ledge. Daryl checks it out. You got no meds in this bag, just this, pointing to the bottle of whiskey. Or booze. Alright, so now Bob motions towards his gun as Daryl threatens to destroy the booze or the whiskey. He's just about to throw it. He goes over to Bob and basically takes his gun out, kind of gets in his face. I personally think he went all redneck on him. Are you still there? Or I just... No? Okay. Well... Dan probably went to go answer his phone. So yeah, he basically gets all up in his face and gives him the bottle of booze, takes his gun, and says, "If you take one sip before we get this meds to our people, I will beat you into the ground." So I thought that was pretty cool. Daryl went all badass on him, of course. And now back at the abandoned neighborhood, after loading up the trunk of the car, Carol heads for the car door, and it's locked. All right, so we don't really know what's going on here. So now Rick basically tells Carol that Karen and David, they might have lived, and when the others find out, they won't want you there. And with my children's safety to think about, basically Rick doesn't want her there either. And the realization basically sets in for Carol, and he's going to leave her. So she replies with, "Rick, it's me. No one else has to know. I thought you were done making decisions for everyone." And she basically... Rick replies with, I'm making this decision for me. This is about my family. I'm protecting my family, which all along Carol was doing that. She protected his family. She killed the threat. She eliminated the threat. And in turn, could have saved Carl, could have saved Judith, could have saved anyone that Rick cared about. And Rick promises to keep Lizzie and Mika safe. Basically says, you're not the woman that was scared to be alone. Not anymore. Rick tells her she'll find another group and she'll survive, putting her backpack outside of his car. Carol now is in the other car of the survivors, Sam and Anna. They had a car outside. And she basically loads up her car with supplies. And Carol gives Rick a watch that she got from her abusive husband, Ed. She basically says, take it. I think kind of referring to the fact that Rick lost his watch. I don't know if that was kind of just a sentimental way of just giving him another watch, or was that just a way of, kind of saying fuck you? I don't know. But take it. I should have given it away a long time ago. And then she drives off in Sam's station wagon. So Carol is now not in the group anymore. Rick didn't take her back to the prison. We don't really know what's going to happen. Are we going to see any more footage of Carol? Is she going to be gone for a couple episodes? Maybe come back to the prison, save some lives? What's going to happen with her? Is there going to be a separate storyline alone? Like, is back in season 3 when we seen separate scenes between the Rick and the governor? Are we going to see separate scenes between Rick and Carol? Is she going to be in a different place on her own? Is she going to find a group? Is she going to meet up with the governor? Maybe she'll meet up with the governor and be like, yo, let's take Rick down. He exported me from his group.
Oh, yeah, because that's going to happen.
Yeah, I doubt that. But anyways, yeah, back at the road now. Carol's her hands on the wheel. Or, no, not Carol. Fuck, Michonne. Jesus. Michonne basically casts a suspicious glance at Bob, who is in the backseat of the minivan. Is this guy really good to run with? Is it good to risk my life around him? Kind of, I guess, seeing it in another way now that Bob risked his life for a bottle of booze and not just medication or, something like that. But now back in Rick's car, driving back alone, Rick looks in the rearview mirror. I kind of think this is kind of thinking that he's regretting what he does, but he knows it's for the best, in my opinion. He's looking in the rearview mirror, thinking maybe Carol is going to be following him. Maybe he'll give her another shot, but he keeps driving nonetheless. And a little further on, he does it again, and then later again. He keeps looking in the rearview mirror, and there's nothing but woods in the distance. And we don't know whether he regrets his decision, whether he thinks it's for the best but regrets it, or anything like that. So we don't know what's going to happen to Carol. We don't know what's going to happen when Rick gets back to the prison and tells everyone that he just left Carol. So I think,
what is he gonna say?
I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to leave that for the prediction video on Thursday. So yeah, that's basically it for this video, guys. This is the entire review of the episode. That was The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 4, Indifference. The next episode is The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 5, Interment. We don't really know what that is suggesting to the title, but it could mean a lot of things. So we'll get into that in the prediction video this Thursday on November the 7th. So look forward to that. Season 4, Episode 5, Interment. So, yeah, guys, I guess until then, hopefully you guys did enjoy this review video. Hopefully you guys joined my special guest, commentator or reviewer. And I guess I'll talk to you guys.
No.
Pardon?
I suck at doing all of this.
Alrighty, well, anyways, yeah, that's it for this recap or review. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And if you did, hit this up with a like, share it around with your friends. What did you guys think of last night's episode? Give us your opinions on things that happened in that episode. What's Carol gonna do? What's gonna happen? So I guess we'll talk to you guys later, and until the next video. All right, guys, bye.